In this video, we hope to clarify some of the confusion surrounding cask ownership by answering some of the most common questions that we're asked by prospective clients. How does my cask ownership actually work? Cask ownership, unlike most other assets, is governed by the contract between the buyer and the seller. Unlike bottles, because of HMRC regulations, casks must be stored in HMRC bonded warehouses. You cannot simply store them at home. This is where cask ownership can unfortunately get muddled. And it's this part of the chain of ownership where unscrupulous companies can lurk and ultimately take advantage. We have previously produced content on how to spot scammers, but I want to demystify some of the questions that we've had from prospective buyers. How can I prove ownership of my cask? I'm sure there are multiple structures available, but we offer two ownership models: direct ownership and ultimate beneficial ownership. Once you've purchased a cask from us, the ownership of that cask is unquestionably and irrevocably yours. However, how it's stored depends which ownership model you fit into. Direct ownership means that you'll have to independently open an account with a warehouse, and then we can transfer that stock to you. Now, a question that we're often asked on the back of this: what is a WOWGR, and do I need one to store my whiskey cask? WOWGR is an acronym for Warehouse Keepers and Owners of Warehouse Goods Regulations. Simply put, the WOWGR is a register that revenue traders who carry out multiple transactions must be accepted onto. So as a personal investor looking to buy a cask or two, do you need a WOWGR to store them? The short answer: no. You need an account at a warehouse. However, both in our experience and in the experience of our clients, warehouses have been reluctant to open an account for us without a WOWGR. In the summer of 2022, in one day, we contacted 53 warehouses. Some didn't answer, some asked us to email, but all of those that we did get through to asked us for our WOWGR certificate. We can hypothesize as to why that is, but the obvious answer is that most of these warehouses just are not set up for the administration that would bring. Their systems are probably quite archaic and they can't do it. Dealing with 1,000 clients who have one cask each is much more difficult than dealing with one person or company who have 1,000 casks. And that's fair enough. That being said, we now encourage all of our clients to attempt this process. If you are able to open an account with a warehouse, this will give you direct visibility of your asset, because we will immediately transfer that stock over to you by way of a delivery order. If you are unable to open an account with a warehouse and would like to own a cask, we offer a second model called the Ultimate Beneficial Ownership model. What is Ultimate Beneficial Ownership? This is very similar to holding something in trust and is set up by a contract between Hackstons and the client. The trustee, in our case, would be Hackstons. We store and look after the cask on behalf of the ultimate beneficial owner, the client. We have a fiduciary and contractual responsibility to ensure that your casks are kept safe whilst in our trust. So this includes, but is not limited to, the storage and the insurance of your cask. So we keep your casks in a company client account and invoice separately for storage and insurance. As this model could be susceptible to unscrupulous activity, we have instructed an independent auditor to audit all stock. This proves that the individual casks exist and are recorded in our books as being owned by specific individual clients. The auditors will then contact clients directly to confirm their findings. As I'm sure you can imagine, this eliminates the question, does my stock exist? This also eliminates the risk of the same cask being sold to multiple customers. We believe that we've pioneered this independent auditing process, and for those who can't open an account with a warehouse, the hope is that in the next 2 years, this will become the industry standard as another measure for customers' peace of mind. What do I need to consider with both options? With direct ownership, you need to consider the initial setup, which could take several months. With the ultimate beneficial ownership model, you must consider if you trust the company that you're thinking of buying from. And also, what would happen if that company went into liquidation? What happens to my casks if Hackstons went into liquidation or ceases to operate? The whisky casks are not treated as assets of the company, and they are not on our balance sheet. And we hold records showing the beneficial ownership of those casks. This evidence is duplicated and confirmed by the independent audit. If we were to go into liquidation, the liquidator would take control of those books and those records. And the liquidator would be fully aware, as per the books and the client's contractual documents. As the bonded warehouse accounts in Hackstons' name would probably be closed, clients would then have to arrange either for direct ownership or for another company that manages casks in their own name to take over. We hope that this video fully clarifies our position and our experiences in the whisky cask market. As with all industries, there are varying business models. We're presenting ours. And above all, we hope that anyone who purchases a cask does so safely and as an enjoyable and rewarding experience.